some of us can unmute, so I will know. Like sometimes, most times, if I'm not hearing people in the background, it feels to me like no one is there. So, like I
No,
said,
so you are here, you are here. I just
yeah, last time we talked about how to write formulas, and today I want us to extend on that. We will be discussing how to handle text, a little bit of text analysis or text manipulations is what we'll be discussing today. But let me ask if any of us, because I believe some of you interacted with what we did yesterday, last time on your own. Though I promised I'm going to comment some of those editing and send them in, but I didn't have time again. I'll send both this one and the last one. So did any of you encounter any problem trying to do what we did last time, or maybe you have a question that we need to quickly address before moving on to what we have today? All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with us. Like we did the other day, we created a new sheet where we replicated what we already have here. So we'll be using this sheet. Why I do that is I found out the other day I was finding it difficult to come up with an assumed data that will fit the example I want to do. So we wasted time. That's why I had to create some of them ahead of time before the class. So the first thing we'll be discussing is how to join two texts together. Let's say we have a name, Mike, and last name Ogo, just like we've been doing in our what's it called, SQL, where we have a derived column. So how do we drive a column that joins two names? So to do that, I would like us to still create exactly what we have there. We can say first name, and we have, let's just have surname, last name. Then we have full name here, which is a combination of the both of them. So here I'm going to have my name as Mike, then have this is my surname. I will also have, maybe some other person can give me a name.
Henry.
Henry.
and Patricia.
Okay, so Henry what? The surname is,
Oh.
let me just say, okay, Shuku.
Thank
So, which other one? Someone said Kelvin,
Yes,
right?
and Patricia. A-double-N-E. And
Kelvin.
He said, I'm coming. Let me, it's like my, this one is not that audible. So, someone said we have what? Anita.
and Patricia. And A-double-N-E. And
Okay,
Patricia.
and
E at
Patrick.
the end.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's E.
Yes.
This
That's
is
it.
Pa.
Then Patricia.
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 Okay.
Yes.
So maybe we can just make deal with these two. I'm going to title this, how do I title it? I'm going to say joining text. So to join text, we simply use there's an operator for that, and that operator is the ampersand. So this character or the ampersand helps us join two texts together. So I'm gonna say this is equal to whatever we have here, then join it with ampersand. Give we used to feed the space, white space.
Spain.
Yeah,
Okay.
then have this. So with this, I should have Michael Oko as a
Combine.
combined. So I can just expand to have it look good and maybe style like I encouraged us to create our own styles. Where is that supposed to be? Okay, so this as heading, this should come as and we can have this as the body. So that's how to join. There's also another function which we could use to join if we want to do that. So maybe I should just extend this and have using the text join. There's a function called text join. So I'm gonna indicate that we are using text join here. So that being said, maybe I need to expand this a bit. So to use the text join is just a function. We already know how to use functions. You just type text join. So this is the function, this other one. So once you type it, it's gonna give you that it's gonna give you the function signature, which is more like some people call it the prototype or how to use the function. So how to use the function is we feed it with a delimiter, which is more like what is gonna separate our words together. So in this case, it makes sense for us to use a space as a delimiter. Then we are going to have if it's going to ignore spaces. So this ignore spaces could be true or false. And most times, because we are feeding it with space, most times is when you have other white spaces, it's going to clean them up. And like if you have, I'll give an instance of where we have something like that. So after that, saying yes or true, the next is for you to feed it with uh, the list of sets you want to use. So with this, we get the same results, which is Michael Oko. And you can drag down like we've always done to fill in the remaining spaces. So that's it. I think this is not formatted and that's why it's looking the way it's looking. So once we style it, everything looks exactly the same. We can put this down and still have it. So that's how to join. That's how to join the two texts together. I don't know if we have question about that. That should be simple enough. So
That is
any
simple enough to understand. You
Yeah,
can go.
it's very simple. So working on cases, sometimes you might have a text and like this text, we have this text and the casing is not correct. We are here to learn today. So I'll be looking up some of these functions so that I don't miss out on any of them. So to create this, we'll have something like, I'll be looking it up anyway, because I don't want to forget that I used any of them. There's a reason I used so many of them many times. I wanted to drive at something. So we have working on cases, then text. So we are gonna have something like this, working on cases. So this is gonna be our text, our string. So here we can just say anything. Today we are focusing on text of on text. Yeah. Um, so with this, we have a text to format. Uh, the first should be upper. Converting this to upper. When you use the upper function, all of them are also simple. When we apply upper, let me see how I want it to look exactly how I have that. So we are going to have function and effects. So it's just to list the function and we also write the effect it has. So we have something like function, then effect. So with this, I think the first function we are going to consider is upper. But before that, let me format this so that we have something looking nice. So I'm going to have this as our I'm going to style this as a custom header, but I need to, okay. So this is going to be, let me join all of these together. So I can also do that here. All right. So if we apply, I'm going to apply the upper function on this text. So I'm going to say this is equal to upper. So once you type the upper, it takes you this function signature. We should just feed in a text, and the text we are interested in is this. So once we say upper this, and we hit enter, it's going to convert everything to upper. So of course, once we have upper, we should consider lower, right? So lower is exactly the same thing we have in upper. Let me still join so we have rooms. Lower is going to give us the same thing, just that it's going to convert everything to lower. So we have lower. Why am I struggling? So we have lower and still feeding the same text. So with this, everything is converted to lower. So that's let me style this. So I have a little bit. Mosquito they bites me. So we have lower. We have
I think we also have this function in SQL now, upper and lower.
we have them in
Like to
SQL,
change.
and we still have them in Python.
Um,
Yeah, we have them in Python, and they function exactly the same way. So learning in
oh,
one aids your understanding of the other one. So which other
yes.
function we have? Proper. So what proper does for us is proper does I don't know if you have a case where you want to format, like you want to have the first characters of every word capitalized, you apply the upper. So that's what upper does for us. Once we use upper and we feed in our text, okay, I didn't type equals. So we'll feed in our text and close that. So what it's gonna do is to, that's what I wanted.
You type proper instead of upper. You type
Okay. Yeah, sorry. So this is gonna be proper.
proper.
Yeah. So proper does exactly what I said. So it's gonna capitalize the first letters of each word, but it will fail us somewhere, but we'll also fix that. So which other function did I list here? We now have left and right. So left, what left does is it specifies the number of characters from the left. We call it slicing in Python. We can also do that in SQL. Then right does exactly the same thing this is doing. So you can, that was left, right? You can have left equals, so for left, if you don't specify an argument, you can have, I'm coming, I'll join you.
Goodness. Bring that laptop.
Yeah. So sorry, sorry. So what it does, the left, if you don't feed it any arguments, if you don't feed it, like it takes more than one argument, but if you give one, that's how we call those kind of functions. We call them variadic functions if you're doing programming proper. So that's just a function that takes a variable number of arguments. So for now, if you have left and we feed it, we are supposed to have text, then optional num. This is optional. That means we can just have left, feed it the text we need, and it will do exactly what we want. But in this case, it's going to pick one character. So from the left, it's going to pick the very first character. But with this now, if we decide to specify the other argument, which is number of characters, we can just say 3 and hit enter. So this way it picks 3 characters from the left. So right also behaves the same way. So our right, we do exactly the same thing. We can just say Control Z. We can say equals right, then we'll feed in the text. Stop. So we can have right, fill in the text, and okay, we had a full stop here. So it picks the full stop first. But now, if we go ahead and add maybe 7 and hit enter, it will take, you see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it will pick 7 characters from the right, and that's what we have. So let me still join them together to have the other stuff we might need is the function. So what does the len function do for us? Len function is just length, and that's exactly the name when you get to Python, when you use len, but in Python is, I think, is small letter. So the len function counts the number of characters in our text. So we can have len here. In Excel, I like using capital letters for their keywords. So we have len, but if you type it in small letters, it will convert it for you. We have len, we'll fill in this, not that. Okay, not type equals. So equals len this. So what it does for us is to count the number of characters. So if you have time, can you still hear me? Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So this tells us that we have 42 characters altogether. So that's for the len function. But now we can use len function, right function, and the other one in combination to achieve certain things. So for now, let's say I want to achieve, I want to pick today and manipulation. I'm going to say we can combine right and len. So let's just say right and len. It's just a way of we write from len. Let me have it like this. So we can just have something like this is going to be useful to us. We can have this to be equals right. We can say write this. Write this. And here we now say len. Len this minus 1. No. Len this minus 1. So what will that do for us? You know, the right function takes a specified number of characters from the right. So when we now pass in the length of this character minus 1, that means we are saying start from here to this point. Because if we just pass in the length of this character, it's going to pick from here. It's going to pick everything. That means we are telling it to pick from the right, all the characters. But if we remove one, that means it will start somewhere from here and stop here. So we hit enter. This should tell us it starts from today. It starts from today, kind of, because we passed in minus 1, and there's a use for that. So the same way we can have right, we can have left and len.
Left and len.
Yeah, left and len. So we can say this is equal to left we pass in our text and say length of text.
Length
Yeah,
minus.
yeah. So we say the length minus 1. So I don't want to have that period at the end. That's what this does for me. So we hit enter, it removes the period. So now, let me check again. There's still another function. Now, we can also mix them together. We can say from the right, let's say we say from the right, give me 5 characters. We can say right, or let's say left, uh, I don't know. So what I'm trying to say, okay, this one, I named it mix because I want to mix them together. So we can say left, maybe we want to pick today. We pick today and say manipulation. So we are going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We say left of this. Okay, I've not typed in equals. We can say left of this. There's something I'm driving at. Just be patient with me. So I'm going to say 5. No. Okay. So length of the left this, and we want 5, right? So this gives us today. So we can mix it. We know this is a text, right? We can combine it with this ampersand and now say, right, CC, then stop. C10, comma. We can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we want 13 characters from that side and we hit enter. So with this, we have, you see what we have, right? So how do I fix that? I don't like they are strange together. How do we fix that? If I want to separate them with maybe a dash. So I'm gonna fit in a dash, right? And use another ampersand to string them together. So this way we have today manipulation, right? So I know this is straightforward. We are following.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are together.
No, not just Mr. Clovis. Like for others, are we?
Yes.
Okay, so the other stuff I would like us to do is now look at it. Why I was doing all of those is just to show you, like this is the mix. We know how to shake our length, then left, whatever. Now, there's no function to convert this to our normal sentence case. You know, for our sentence case, we are supposed to have this starting with capital letter, then the rest should be small letter. So there's no function like that. If we need to do that, we'll build it ourselves. So that's why I was just doing all those exercises to land us in sentence case. So who can suggest how we can do the sentence case? With what we already know, we are going to pick the first letter here, convert it to a capital letter, then convert the rest to small letters and string them together. So who can help with what we should do? By now you should know what we are supposed to do. So
okay, let me try.
Yeah, try. Okay, sentence case, right? So how do we go about
yes,
it?
sir.
Yeah.
Okay, here I can type equal. I'm going to
Okay.
type equal left.
Equal left. Okay.
Left. Then in bracket we highlight it. Then I think we're going to use 1 to say that we are using the only one letter. We are selecting only the first letter.
Okay, so
Comma,
comma
give a
1.
command, then 1.
All right.
Yes. Then close. Then we are going to put the sign.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we're going to type it, I think
engine kita go.
lower.
Go na
Yeah.
kana
So we are gonna apply lower.
kai.
Lower.
On the outside.
We are gonna apply lower.
Do already na
Lower.
for.
They'll
So
select
outside they
it.
go.
Yeah.
Then we are going to type number of letters. I think are we going to count it manually? Because I was
Huh?
thinking maybe we count the number of letters.
Okay. So we
Here where
can
the
let
engine.
me tip you. We can use that our length function.
Okay.
Yeah. Our length
Was it
function
kind
can
of
count it for us.
Was it right now kind of before?
Someone's mic is on and is on call. So you're on point. You're getting it. You're right on point.
So from here we can use length. No,
Right?
yes. Then we are going to put minus one.
All right. So I need to cover everything.
We need to say if or are we going to say where we are minusing the one on the left?
You said,
So is that going to? I mean, like if we say minus one, we are not specifying where it's going to minus. If it's at the left or the right.
yeah, that's why I'm leaving it for you now.
So minus one, they were going to. Dear, I'm mixed here. I'm confused here.
So can anyone again try? You made that was a very nice start, try. You are very close. It's just something that, and if you look at it very well, you should be able to get that. But so that we don't waste time, let me just do it. You're on point. Let me just edit what you have. So we are going to lower some stuff. But what are we lowering? We just apply our right now, right? I think this is where you're missing it. So once we apply right, write this, length this minus one. Then for this, we had left, because we are doing one, we can just leave it as left this, right? And apply upper here. So I believe this should do that for us. So with this, we are just picking the first character and making it an uppercase, right? Oh, let me
Yes, sir.
change this so that we have. All right, so we see the effect. Where is that? Okay, so it's done, right? So with this
Done,
now,
yes.
upper picks our first character, which is small t. You know, the left we just slice out the first character as small t. Then upper converts it to capital T. So whether it's small t or capital T. So this is what this does. This picks this alone, makes it upper. Then this one now picks left. I mean, the right function is going to pick as many characters as are here, minus one, because it's going to start counting from here up to minus one. So once we minus one, it's going to stop a character before the end. That's what we have inside here. But lower lowers everything, so that all these places we have focusing on text and the rest of them is lowered. The other ways you can write it, it depends on how you are thinking. So I just followed what he did, and that was just a correction on what he did. So this is what we have now. Today we are focusing on text manipulation. I don't know, like you have your question asked about how we got all our texts. So with this, I can just go
Okay,
ahead.
thank you, sir. So I want to ask, please.
Okay. I'm with you.
I don't know how you are counting, like from right or from left. Like, are you counting in words or in a alphabetic?
Yeah, I'm counting the alphabets, the characters.
Okay, the characters.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I'm counting the characters. That's the alphabets. So with that now, what happens is, if I'm counting the characters, what did I want to say? I wanted to say something. So if I'm counting the characters, That means we are counting from here. We are counting 1, 2, 3, 4. That's if we are applying the right. If we apply the left, it's going to start counting from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we apply the right, it's going to start counting from here. We already know that our length function counts everything. That's the length. Length counts everything. But if we want it to count everything minus 1, if everything is 50, and that means 50 minus 1 is going to count from 1, 2, 3, 4 up to, instead of 50, it's going to stop here. So that's what we are using here. Where we say here, let me just paste them. So where we use lower, here is right. Just look at this right. Right, C10 is telling us to pick down our character. Then how many characters do we need? We need the length of the character minus 1. So it's going to count from left up to 1 character before the beginning. That's what this inner function does for us. The outer function lower lowers everything for us. The same thing here. Left, if we pass in 1 character, if we pass in 1, it's going to pick the 1 character, but if we leave it, it's going to default to 1 character. So what upper does for us is after picking this, upper now applies upper to it, converting it to an uppercase. So I don't know if we are fine now with that, or we still need. So I believe we are fine. We should be fine. All right, I've messed it up. I don't know where I did. Okay, that should be this. So I don't know if we are fine with that. So today we are focusing on text manipulation. So this one returns 42. Where am I? Okay, what's this 42? So this returns 42. Maybe it's correct. You can count if you want. And that's that. If anyone has question again on how we mix, you know how we use the mix and the rest of them. So ask if you have a question again before we move. Do we all understand what we've done? The answer is yes. I don't know. Once we start this thing, the time we start running, I don't know. So now removing extra spaces, because I've not done what I'm supposed, we still have things. Removing extra spaces, if we want to remove extra spaces, the function is simple. We just use the function trim. So what trim does for us is just to trim out some extra spaces. I don't know if I need to be doing an example for that, but let me do that so that, let me just do an illustration for that. So let's say someone should also give me some data. We have removing extra spaces. So to remove extra spaces, we need, let's just have text, and we have trimmed text. So since I would like us to be learning a little bit of programming, just in case we finally get there, there's something I want to also include here. We'll call them ASCII values. But the first one is enough. So someone should give me a text. We can say men at work, right? I can say men at work. And let's just say men at. I don't want to have so we don't waste time. Someone should give me another one that is not trimmed. We can also have.
Go.
Okay,
let's go.
Let's go. So we can have let's go, and now have spaces, plenty spaces. So maybe we can make do with just these two, or we can extend that. In this, I'm looking for space. So we have let's go and the other one. All right. So what this does, for us is I'm coming. Once we apply trim, once we apply trim, we can just say equals trim our text for us. That's all. That's just all. And it trims off the extra. So even if we have this large amount of this remains what it is. So we don't have so much characters here. It's just strings of the characters, and we can draw this down to still have let's go. You see, our let's go had though it's not visible to us. So it trims it. The value of this remains what it should be, with or without. I think this 2 is enough now for us to get the points. We don't need to have as many. We can style this as body.
I think even this trim command, when I was doing XQL on my own, I came across this too. I tried this trim.
You meet a lot of them. You meet so many of them and a lot of similarities. So that's why learning one, it's always breaking in. Like the problem is always when you want to break in. I'm messing this up already. Once you learn one programming language, the other is always very easy. Though we've not started programming anywhere, we are just using, but there's a lot of similarities between what we are doing and what you'll be doing. So this streams our text. We can have more, and it will just stream all of them and give us like the essence of learning this is for you to do. That's data cleaning. Now, when you want to clean your data, you could have a data that is not looking the way you want. You do a lot of text manipulations to have them how it makes sense. So all these tools you're picking, you use them. There are so many of them. We can't exhaust all of them. We can only do so much, but you should know what the one you have do, so you'll be able to do them. So here we want to talk about extracting a part of string. For instance, we have this zip code, and I want to extract the first part. So how do we do that? We already know how to use our left and how to use our right, right? But the only thing we don't know is how to extract, like, even if I have this, let's say I have this dash here, and I hit enter. You see this now. All right, let's just do it. Yeah, so what I've done there is not robust enough to handle some edge cases. So let's just do them. You give me some, you help me with some data. That was, we named that what? Extracting, right? I can just call it extraction. Let's leave it at that. So when you want to extract, we want to have our original text. We have extracted. So this is always useful when you have maybe product numbers or serial numbers, and a particular part of that product number is of importance to you. Like we know if I want to get your phone number, the area code tells me the country you're coming from. So let's say we want to extract people from a particular country. That's where that comes handy. And some, let's say some products, depending on where the region you're moving them from, it could have a regional code before the actual product code. So we could be interested in just the product code or the regional code or whatever. So let's have a number that looks like that. Okay, let me copy from there. I'm not thinking of any now. So let's say we have this.
Let me propose.
Okay, if you want to propose, let's do that. So yeah,
let's use 0588
0588
45
45
2560.
2560. All right. Yeah. So which part of it do you want us to extract? We might format with dash. We might format with this.
Yes, exactly.
right? So
Yeah.
now, if your data is consistent, let's say whatever you're entering there is consistent, that means we always have three characters, then we box them with an open and closed parenthesis. It's very easy for us to do this because we are going to say what, let's say we want to extract these parts. We are going to say right. We simply say right this. Okay, there's no equality here. We simply say equals, stop, equals right this. And we count how many characters. You can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? Comma 6. But that's not robust. Like it can't withstand hits. So let's have some more. You can give me more number. So let's say, because if it's phone number, we know the first three is always the country code. Then what follows is the other one. So that kind of data is very easy for us to extract. So let's say 25234 for Nigerians. We have 80 321 33774. And okay, now this becomes a problem because these two are no longer consistent. But let me still reduce it. So we get, I want us to get a point first before we now tighten up things a little bit. So with this, no. So with this, I don't know. I think I've messed it up.
Change something.
So with this now, do we get what we are doing? We get it, I know. So we can just say this and hit enter. So we have that. Now we can pull down to also extract the other one for us. So this is when we have a simple enough data. We can just do what we've done. Do we get what we are doing before we complicate it for others, please?
We can
Yes,
see
sir.
we can see use trim here, to trim.
Yeah. We can trim if we suspect there is an extra character. Someone wanted to ask a question or to contribute or to say something.
No, I say yes. I'm following.
Okay, so now that we follow, I would like to make it more beautiful. I'd like to make it withstand heat, make it rugged. So let's say for now, I want it to withstand the. Okay, before we do that, let's say we had what we had before, 321 33774. So if you apply that, what we're extracting is no longer what we wanted to extract. So now there's another function I'm going to introduce, which is called find. So find equals find. So what it does is it returns the starting position of one text range with another text range. So if you want to find a text inside the text, that is when we use find. So in this case, we could say, but okay, let me not use this. We'll come to that, but I don't want to complicate it at first. So we could say, I don't want to complicate it at first. So let's remove this. I'm coming. You got the first point. You should get this too. I want to use a single character to explain one stuff first. So let's say we want to, and in this case now, let's use sorry, I'm doing this. So let's just use dash and also replace this with dash. We could use dots, but let's use dash. So let's say we have dash here. I want to find where the dash is and pick whatever is left after the dash. So you see, in this case, we have 3. In this other case, we have 5, right? So what we wrote before is when we know that our data is consistent, like the same number of characters, both before and after what we are searching for. But in this case, if we use find, we can say equals left. Let's say we want to pick the first this thing. We are gonna say left uh left this. So how many characters? We are going to now use our find. So our find is gonna find this character in our text. So it's going to find what? Find text. Within which text? So the within is the text we are looking for it, then starting points. If you don't specify this starting point, look at it. Whenever you have this block bracket, it means the whatever you have there is optional. So if we don't specify that, it will okay. If we don't specify that, it's optional. If we don't specify that, it doesn't tell us how many characters it's going to count. So with this now, that's where it's going to start counting from. So with this now, we've said find our dash in our this text, right? Then you know, if it's going to find, it's going to return the what we call the index. The index is like the position. So it's going to count as 1, 2, 3, 4. So want it to so this is 4, right? So this find is going to return 4 for us, which is why our text initially returned this 588. You know, left is going to pick from this box, this our cell. Then how many characters do we want it to pick? We can say pick we want it to pick 3 characters, but in this case we want it to be dynamic because we don't know the whether it's the third character. Like in this case, we have 5 characters. So we want it to find the position of this dash. So that's why we're using find. Whenever it finds dash in this, it should return it, but this will return 4 for us. So since we know it's in the first position, we are going to remove 1 so that it stops where it's supposed to stop. So with this now gives us 588, but I also want to extract this. So let's see if it's robust enough to handle that. So with this, you see it's dynamic. In this case, it's going to find, and the find for now is going to return 5 for us. So if we still have a text that has a, let's say, XP, then dash, maybe man 8895, and we hit enter. This will do what for us? This we just extract our 0.99977 XP. So this way is robust, like it handles edge cases. I didn't do it in the other, this other one could not, that was why I said it's not robust. I tested it was not robust because here I was just adding numbers, 5. So if you specify numbers, it's not dynamic. So we have questions, I know. Let's ask. So we treat that. Let's ask our question because I still intend to make it a bit more complex and more dynamic. I'm messing things up. All right, let me show us something. I think because let me do this. This is equals, look at how find works because I know you want to understand find again. Look at how find works. Find, what text are we finding? Whatever we are finding, even if it mustn't necessarily be one character, it could be many more characters. So for this, we are just looking for where we have our dash. So we specify our dash, comma, find our dash in this. So that's what we are just saying. Find this character in this cell. So once we hit enter, it's going to tell us 4 because it is on the 4th position. That's the index. So it's going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're doing Python, it's going to count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Other programming, in fact, most programming languages count from 0. So for this, it's going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the 4th position, but that's not what we want to extract. Remember, our left extracts something. So this alone returns an integer, a whole number for us. The whole of this highlighted returns a whole number for us, which is exactly what we have here. Control Z. Control Z. Enter. So which is what we have here. So the expression we have here, what if I just include -1 and hit enter? You see, this is now returning 3. So if you understand what is going on here, just carry what you have here and place somewhere there. I don't know if you get that. Do you have questions?
I'm lost.
That's fine again. That's fine.
I understand. All right, let's understand fine alone. Not now. I want you to. Someone should help me. I want to find this. Let me conceal this. I want to find XP in this character. So someone should look at fine. Look at fine. One thing is, Excel is sweet because it gives us some tooltip. So if I say find, right, it's going to tell me find text, within text, start number. And I told you once we have this block brackets, it means whatever argument is there is optional. So here we are saying find, what are we finding? Find text. So I want to say find XP. Remember when you are dealing with, was that a capital XP? Because it's case sensitive. When you're dealing with strange or text, we use double quotes in Excel. In the other side, database, we use single quotes. In Python, we use either double or single quote. Both of them are valid. So we are saying find XP in this. So find XP, comma, where within text, in this text, right? So what this is going to tell you is not going to give you XP. It's going to give you the position, the starting position of XP. So if I hit enter, what I'm just saying is find XP in B34. So once I hit enter, it's going to tell me, okay, it was find XP in B34. So why are we having problem? All right, let me write that again.
I think maybe we cannot find join. I think we should separate the X and the P apart.
Okay, yeah. So this is it. I told you it's case sensitive. So I use the capital letter
Capital
there.
letters.
Yeah. So now it's going to tell you that because it's finding X, it's going to tell you the position of XP. So the starting position is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it starts at 7. That's why it's telling us 7, right?
But sorry, sir, but it did not indicate if it's counting from left or from right.
No, it's not
So
what
how
I'm
is
looking for. That's not what I'm looking for. What find does for us is to find the character. So it's going to start, always count from, whenever you're talking about indexes, always forget about left and right. Always count from the left. Yeah. So this is in position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is 7. That's where it's starting. So when we say find this, it's going to ask us, the first argument is going to be the text you want to find, and we are looking for XP. Where are we looking for it? Are we looking for it here, here, here? So we are looking for it here. That's it. And it returns it. Now, let me explain some other stuff which I'm going to use to complicate our stuff. Now, with this find, I can tell it where to start. Let's say we have 5 here. I'm coming. I want to have 5 here. If I decide to now find 5, you see 5, the position of 5 is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's 1, 2. Sorry, I can't. That's how programmers count. I'm sorry. In Excel, we count like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know what I'm doing again. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a position of 6, right? This is a position. You know, we are looking for 5 in this box. So it will tell you the position and it's 6, right?
Yes,
now, what if I'm not using this other arguments. What if I decide to specify comma? If I ask it to start from 7, if I ask it to start from 7 now, that means it's going to start looking for, it's going to not look for, okay, let me just return. So here we have 18. Now, why do we have 18? We have 18 because the next 5 appears in the 18th position. If we start counting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but I asked it not to search for that 5 within the first 6 characters. It should start from 7. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So that's why it returns 18. So we have find the text we are looking for, where we are looking for it, where do we start looking for it? This is beautiful because I'm going to use it to be more dynamic and more fanciful with what we are doing. Do we understand this find now? Because that's the problem. Yeah. For
Yes, sir.
the ladies and the rest of the class, we understand the find.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if we understand the find, and we know it was find that returned this trait to us. Sorry. We know it was find. I've messed it up on Control C. I'm coming Control C. Control C. So we know it was find that returned this trait for us. So we could, this is as simple as saying, what we did here is as simple as saying left. Here we put 3. It will give us that 3, but it's not robust. Like it breaks when I pull it down, because if I pull it down, it's now giving me just the 3 characters. That's not where I want to separate from wherever we have dash. So it's not robust. I'm going to get back to getting it dynamically. So now what I did, instead of writing 3, I just wrote a find that will always find this character dash for me in each of the distance. It will always find that character and take a step, because it's in the 4th position. It will take a step backwards once. That's why I'm saying -1. So it's taking 1 step backwards to give me this 8. So in this case, it gives me what it's supposed to give me. But in this other case, it's not going to look for, it's not going to use that 3. It's simply going to look for this character. Once it finds this character is on position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's on position 6. So from position 6, remove 1. If it removes 1, it's on 8. So that's why that works for all of them. The same thing happens for, you see, we now have our, the same thing happens for this. It's going to not look for 3. It's going to search for this character, find returns the position of this character, and it subtracts 1 and extracts it from there. Yeah. So with that, I'm going to, if we get what we are doing, do we now get, from what we illustrated, do we now get how we got all these values?
It's clear, sir.
For others. So I want to ask us for one thing. I said that when we come to today's class, I'll ask you for a favor. I want to build my profile on X and LinkedIn. So I just want you guys to follow me. I'll be dropping the link on our distance, because I just want you guys to follow me. I want to get followers.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
No doubt. I'll do that. From
Okay.
my profile, even you can get, you can even follow people that I'm following, like, because you know my colleagues and stuff. You can follow them if I'm following you.
Yeah.
So I'll follow you on both LinkedIn and X.
Yeah. So please just do that for me. So now let's be beautiful with this stuff. You know, like I told you, find has a 3 arguments. This one is optional. So what if we decide to also allocate this dynamically? Which is what we are going to do in this case. I want to extract these last digits. Or I want to extract I want to extract the last digits. So if I want to extract this last digit, let me do that here. If I want to do that, look at what we are going to do. I'm going to use this find. What do I want to find? I want to find still dash. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to find dash, comma, I want to find it here, right? But I can't always, let's say we have more text, and some of them have man, others have like the number of characters are not consistent, and I want to extract this. So if I say 7 here or whatever, let's say I count this and I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So if I start finding from 15, then the next character, this might appear not in that 15th position. So how do I worry about that kind of stuff? So in this case, I'm going to say find again. Stop. Allow me to do my thing. So I'm going to say find again. But in this find, I'm going to find dash. I'll explain, but you can follow it as I'm doing this. I'm going to find dash and find dash. I'm looking for the second one. So I want to find the first one in find dash, right? In same cell, comma, comma. Oh, stop. Okay. I'm sorry if I'm doing this and you don't like it. +1. So now look at what's going to happen. This is going to find the last. Okay, it has done that already. It's going to find the second one. Why? I tricked it a bit. It's simple. The first one we are looking for dash. And find returns a whole number. So the first find is going to find what? It's going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 10, right? But this find is going to find this dash for me and B1 plus 1. This alone gives me 10. Let me copy this and show you. This alone gives me, let me explain. B. This alone gives me what? Okay. So this alone gives me 11. Now look at what I've done. This is 11. I know when I do find and I'm looking for this in this text, then this is going to return a number for me. But I'm adding 1, I'm finding that character. This alone, like this here, finds this character for me, the first character, but I don't want to start finding from here. That's why I'm adding +1, because this alone is going to return 10 for me, which is the position of the first dash. But I want it to, this is starting where it should start number. So I'm tweaking this formula by adding 1, telling it not to start searching from here, but to start searching from a step after this. I don't know if you get that. The value of the next find is 11. And we know the position of 11 is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So the value of this is 11 because I'm carefully finding that number and adding 1 to it, using it to construct our starting position for this outer find. Okay, let me do this. If I say this, do we understand this? I hope we understand this, right? Hello? Can you still hear me?
Yes, sir. I get you.
I don't intend to confuse you. Yes, sir. If you get the first part, it's fine. But over time, as you look at this, you should be able to get that. Our find has this, this is the signature of find. Find this character, what we are looking for is dash in this text, starting from. So I want it to start from 11. So when I start from 11, I mean, don't start from this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, I didn't count it well. 1, 2. I counted from 0. Sorry, I'll be making this mistake a lot. You understand? So forgive me whenever I count like that. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is 10. But I want you to start counting, searching for from 11. So 11. This is 11. But there's a way of constructing this 11 because if I leave 11 like this, and I have, this is fine for our, what we have. Let's say I have XP, XX, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now let me have this dash, YP dash 7878. And I hit enter. Now, this is no longer consistent, but I want the same formula to work. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is on the 6th position, but this is on the 10th position. So if I want to do exactly what I did for this, I'm going to copy all and say, no, Control C, Control C, Control AV. So if I say 11 here, you see, it's no longer finding the position. It's now telling me, no. I did something else. This should be, so you see, there's no value for that. I don't think that's even up to 14. We are going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there's no 14th character there, which is why we are returning an error. Now, I want the same formula that works for this to work for this. So for this, if I want to do it the way we've done it, which is simple, I have to start counting them one after the other. That means I'm going to write an individual formula for as many entries as I have, and it could get up to 1,000, up to 2,000. So that means you start writing 2,000 times. So if you allocate that dynamically, that means we are going to search for this 11 carefully using a clever trick, which is instead of returning 11, I want to search for this. You know, this is in 11th position for this. So I'm going to search for this, which is going to give me 10, and just add 1. Telling it to start searching from 11th position instead of starting from 0, because if it searches from 0, it's going to find this. So if I trick it to start searching from one character after what I don't want to find, it will do the job for me. So that way, I'm going to use this. Look at find. Our find is going to do find, or let me write it somewhere and bring it in. Let me say, I want to say, I think I've broken everything. Equals find this for me, and this, comma, if you're not able to write this kind of formulas, it's not bad. It's not bad. Over time, you grow to be able to write them. So this finds 10 for me, but I don't want it to start counting from 10. I'm going to add 1. So this returns 11 for me. Now, if I next this with exactly what I've done, let me say, no. Okay, I can even next it with that so that I simplify things. If I do this now, you see it's finding that 14 for me. Or you can copy the whole of this, Control C, paste it in place of this. In place of this, I'm having this. And I hit enter. So it finds 14 for me. And if I pull it down, it should be able to still handle the other value. So this way now, you see, it's still finding this next. It's counting it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's telling us 9 here. It's telling us 14 there. If we still have x dash 7 and hit enter, then put this down, it will still suffice for that. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if you understand how that is like we're trying to just use one stone and kill many birds. And that's what programming is all about. Those things will make it will more like streamline your job in Excel and other places. So I know we get it. If we don't get it, we'll get it
Hello,
when
Sam.
yeah.
Sorry, I don't know if I missed it. How will I get the first dash?
Okay.
If I want to get the first dash.
If you want to get the first dash, look at this. Okay. If you want to get the first dash, let's get it here. Control Z, press hit enter, and remove this. So let's say we want to get the first dash for this, right? We can
Yes.
say equals find. We need dash and here. I'll close that. So it will return the first one is 6.
Okay.
This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But I want it to find that character for me, and I want it to start searching for it immediately after it sees the first character. So immediately after it sees the first character is what I don't know. So that's why I'm going to still find the first character again. This is why I'm saying find. Because now if I say 11, it will find that, it will find the second character, and you can nest it to get the third character. If I say anything below 10, anything less than or equals 10, it's going to find the first character. So here, if I say 2, it's going to find the first character. If I say 10, it's going to find the first character. And that's not what I want. I want it to find the second character for me. So in order to find the second character, I will just find the first character and add 1 to it. What we have here, I want to find the second character. So I'm going to write exactly what we've written, but add 1 to it. So I'm going to find the same stuff, comma, we are in the same place we are finding it. And no, it's enter, okay. No. You've messed things up for me. Okay, +1. So I'll find the first character and add 1 to it. You remember this one now, this find this is going to return the first character for me. So if I just add 1 to it and use the whole of these as my expression for the second distance, it will do the job for me. So if you practice it, you should be able to get it. You should be able to get what I'm doing. Just try writing it to yourself when we leave. So let's move to, I've even forgotten what we are doing that got us to this point. Okay, so we are doing finding characters. You understand how to do this. This one now is the simple way. That's how most people will be tempted to do it. Most people will be tempted to just do left this, then count the number of characters and say. And if your data is simple enough, you shouldn't bother yourself writing a big formula because we don't write formula for writing sake. So this does this for us, left this, and we need 5 characters. It will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for us and extract it, this 2 for us. So that's the same trick I've applied here, and it does the job for us. And you can also check this. I'll drop this for us. So now let's get into this. This is what I was doing. Now let's do this. Let's find a character. We are going to find this. Let's say from this, I'm going to use this, or maybe you can supply me some, look at this, just give me some serial numbers. We are going to have 2 dash. We extract the size. We also extract the code. I want us to extract the size like medium, small, whatever, and have these numbers in between. We will not make it complex again. So, all right, so let's do that. This is our original text. Are we with me? Hello? Are we still there?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, I don't intend to confuse you. I just want to do some beautiful stuffs. Why is this happening? Something is happening. All right. No. I've referenced that somewhere. I'm referencing something somewhere. Okay, so I'm breaking this other code. All right. Now I can go. So now let's have some original text, serial numbers. I'm going to say Benz 18 to mean that it was created in 2018, and I'll have mini, right? So I'm going to say here, year, and I'll say model. So here, this is the brand. This is the brand. We are combining the brand, the year, and the model, right? Where this is the first three characters or the first whatever tells us the brand it is. If it's Toyota, then I'm just assuming it's not like that's how the name. So this way, I want to extract 18 to say that it was built on 218 and the model is this. So how do we do that? I'm going to introduce another function, but we can do that with left. For this, the model, we can just say for model, we are going to say find, we are going to say left equals, you are not talking again. I don't know if all of you have left the class. Are we still there? Let me check.
Yes, sir.
Let me check how many persons are still there. Okay. So just be patient with me. We'll soon be done. If it's giving us tough time, then we have to come back. So I'm going to say left. Left tells us the text. Okay, let's start from right. It's going to be right. I want to extract I'm going to say right, this. So how many characters do we need? We need to find, we need to say, how do we go about this? We need to say, then the length of this. We need to say the length of this. Stop this now. The length of this minus find dash. Construct it with me. We are doing it together in this, comma, find dash. I don't know if I should stop doing this in this. Let me show you. Okay, we are still in order. Find that in that. Plus 1. I find this in this plus 1. All right, let me check if that does that for us. Yes. Okay, so this extracts mini for us. Look at what I've done. I don't know. Let me show you what I've done. So this gives us mini. Look at what I've done. What I've done, look at it. I'm extracting from the right. Hello. You can all unmute so I will know you are there. I'm finding I'm picking from the right? I want to extract mini. But what do I want to do? The length of this, I'm calculating the length of this. I'm minusing You know, the length of this is going to be what? The length of this is going to be, maybe we'll count it. Let's say we have the length as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, right? If this is 11, and I want to start searching from M, I'm going to minus the index of this second dash. So that's why I'm saying the length of this, which comes whatever we have here, minus find. This find, you know, our first find is going to, I want to use a nested find, exactly what we've been doing. I'm using the nested find to find the position of this so that I have the length of this text minus the length of counting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's this position. So that's why I'm saying, right, that's from the right count. From the right, I need to extract from this, which is what this is doing. What is the size I want to extract? So that's what this expression is doing. The size is the length of this minus the position of this. So the length of this is going to give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So minus 11 minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 11 minus 7 is going to give us 4. So the whole of this expression gives us 4, and that's what I'm using. I don't know if it's clear. So if we still have a Toyota, let's say we have Toyota, you will get it. Toyota 20, we can even write this out in full. That's robust enough. 2012, we can say XP. I don't know cars. Let's say there's a car like this. So with this, Toyota, whatever XP, what formula have I written here? If I drag this down, it's going to extract XP for us. So this is now robust. And if we drag down, it's going to extract this for us. I don't know if we are seeing what we are doing. If we drag down, it's just doing its job. We have questions, I know. We have questions. Anyway, go and practice this. Let's not do much again. But we would have touched on substitution, touched on counting the characters. And this, maybe I should just do that. Go over what we've done. If you can fast forward to this place, we have this video, you fast forward and check it. I will also do a video about this extraction, particularly. Maybe it should just be around 14 minutes. I'm saying if I have time, I'm not promising. So we go over them and we should be able to do that kind of extraction. So that's this. What I was doing was just talking about this. So how about we want to extract the center, because we've been able to extract, where am I? Okay. We've been able to extract the last. How about I want to extract this center distance? We can also write some stuffs, but I guess we are becoming tired with this extraction. So let's move to something else. We can still write an expression that will kidnap this for us, and that's what we have. But before that, let me introduce one more function that you may need. It's not as tough as the other one. So that's called mid. Mid, what mid does is it's just like left and right, but mid is just like middle. I won't say mid. We can just say equals mid. I'm going to make this one simple. Equals mid. We are going to tell it the text to pick from. Let's not do that. Let's do it here. Equals mid. We are going to tell it where to the text. So I'm going to say this as the text, then comma. Where should it start? Let's say I want it to start at 3 and end at 7. Let's say we have up to 7. So what it does is it only picks, so it's gonna count 1, 2, this is 3. So it starts from 3 and stops at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that what it did? Okay, so that's the number of characters. That one talks about the number of characters. So we are needing 7, so it's going to start from n and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's why we're having that. Whenever you are in doubt, just click on the function. It will tell you what it's doing. Text, which is where we are picking, starting number and where we are the number of characters we need. So that's what meat does for us. We can assign all these values dynamically by using find and other functions, but let's leave it at this. Just to introduce you to this function, I don't want to complicate things anymore. Do you understand this, like everyone? All the ladies and everyone. Do you understand this?
Yeah, yeah, that one is okay. We'll just need to practice it more and try to apply it also. That's it. I think we're going to get it that way. That's the easiest way to get it more.
Yeah, try applying it. If you don't get it, try doing the kind of stuff I'm doing. If you don't get it, ask a question. Ask a question. Maybe you can even come and, okay, just ask a question. Let me not go there. I am also hoping that one day one of us will take this class and I'll learn.
For sure.
Because you,
For sure.
I know say una sabi Excel well. And other stuff, like most of you know a lot, so maybe we can just fix a date where I'll just come and ask questions. So here we are going to use substitute. Substitute is also simple. Let's look at this so we try to replicate it in our own piece. We can say substitution. Let's say here we are doing substitution. And that's it. In substitution, we just want to say characters. We can say Mike. Let me just say my. Yeah. And I want to substitute K with CH. I'm simply going to say equals substitute this. You can type it out. You can also this. So now we have the old text and the new text. So the old text is K. I will need to substitute it with CH. You can use stuff like this. So it gives us a Michael, right? You can use this if people make mistakes with their spellings, or maybe you want to convert some part of a text to capital, you can apply substitution, all right? Now, there's also a place I use this straightforward, just get it this way. So this way, if you have, now let's say I have an email list, something like Oko Michael Apple, which is my email at gmail.com. Someone should give me another one. Let's have someone should give me another. We can have Clovis at gmail.com. We can have I think there's Goodness. We can have Goodness at gmail.com. I just want to give you a use case. I don't want to complicate it again. So now, if we are using Gmail and your company decides to migrate from Gmail to maybe Yahoo Mail, and they ask you to replace all the Gmail with Yahoo Mail, right? They ask you to replace, want to migrate to Yahoo Mail, and you are tasked with the job of doing this. What you can do is just to use your substitutes. You can say equals substitutes here, comma, our old text is gonna be gmail.com, or we can just say Gmail with Yahoo. So you find out we are now having okomichaelakwa@yahoo.com. I had a good example, but that example is also complicated, which is why. So this way we've converted all of this to at gmail.com, love it at yahoo.com, goodness at yahoo.com, etc. We got this right?
Subtract, exactly.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this should be straightforward. I don't want to do tough this thing again. I had one that was kind of, the example I prepared was also stimulating, but then let's leave it so you get the basics. So this is what this one does. It changes, you can do very much with it. You can change a character, you can change a group of characters like we changed from Yahoo. So this is a very good application of this. This is a very good application. So once you're done, they can move it back to the database where they are using it to do whatever they are doing. Then I'll send this, but I needed to explain what I did here. Now, let's say we want to count the occurrence of character, and you'll be needing this when you're doing text analysis. You guys will do this for me. This is your homework. I will try to keep this simple, so you do this as homework. I wanted us to do it in class, but we don't have time. Let's say we have Mississippi. I want to measure how many times S appear in this word, how many times I appear in this word, how many times M appear in this word, and P. We still write some stuff to do that for us. This kind of analysis is used more in cybersecurity. And as an analyst, you may not know where you're going to land. You might not land in finance. You might not land. In fact, they have what they call forensic analysts, which are just data analysts who analyze security data. So it depends on where you find it. They also use it in machine learning. So I'm just trying to tell you that it's not useless. And you can also use it to do some other stuff. So if you want to do this, our example was Mississippi. And we'll do an example with something like that. So we can say here we are counting the occurrence. Let's just leave it. You understand what I'm saying? I'll send the other stuff. So now let's say our text is Mississippi, but it does where text is Mississippi, or someone should give me another text. Let's say happiness. So we want to measure happiness, and here we want to measure, I want to say character. And count. Not counting, count. So this is our text. We want to count each of the characters. So for this, we have H. We want to know how many times H appears. We want to know how many times P appears. We want to know how many times S appears. I'm not going to do more than that. So we'll just say this equals, so how could we do that? We don't have a formula for that. We are going to count how many characters we have. And so if we count, to count how many characters we have, what's the formula? What's the function for it? We've done that today. We can calculate the length of that character, of that word. So we are going to say length this. But because we are going to be using that, I'm going to make it absolute. So make this absolute and also make this absolute, right? So this returns 9 for us. We have 9, but that's not our destination. Minus, we are going to, so minus, we are interested in H. So we are going to say minus, we are going to replace H with an empty string. So if we remove H here, what is left? If we remove the count of characters from the length of the characters without H, it tells us how many times H appears. I don't know if you got that. If we replace all P with an empty string, we only have highness. We'll have something like highness without P, right? So when we say the length of this string minus the length of the string without this is going to give us the total number of P. Because if we remove P, we are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we include P, we are going to have 9. So 9 minus 7 is going to give us 2. That's the number of times this occurs. So with that, did you get the concept so that we write it? So with that, we are going to say minus length of, we are going to use length of this, but we are going to make substitution, right? It's an application of that substitution, of substituting text in our text. We are going to substitute all of P, but because we are counting with this, we are going to substitute all of these. Stop. We are going to substitute all of these with an empty string. So this is a direct application of what we just did. And that tells us that H is just 1. Do we get that? Forget this. What does our substitute? If we substitute, our substitute function will tell it where we are substituting, which is this text. We are substituting in this text, we are substituting all of H, which is our C49 with an empty string, right? So if we count the length of that, that means we remove H because we are substituting with empty string. We are just counting this. So it tells us that H appears 1 for P and the rest of them. But because we want this to be steady, we are going to fix that. We're almost done, but please try. We're almost done. And so we fix this again. I have this. So once we drag this over, it counts the rest. So P appears how many? 2 times, right? S appears 2 times. What if we have I? How many times does I appear? If we have I and we try to extend this, it still tells us that I appears once. And we can do much more than that. What again do we have? We can have E. Now, this is used to guess people's password, like I said. That's why sometimes when you are beginning to have some repetitions in your text, this thing prompts you to, I have too many of, but let's not delve into that. That's just text analysis. You could be given, maybe I type the whole text because we are just dealing with happiness. I type a whole paragraph of text and I ask you to measure how many times I appears there. What we've done goes for it. So when you watch the video, I know you guys don't have time, but if you can find time and just watch the video, I'll drop this thing. You should be able to understand what I'm doing. Let's ask our questions so that we continue.
I'll not really have questions now, but I'll need to go through this. Then I think before we begin the next class, like next time, I'll like prepare. I'll go through this. Then I think I'll get some questions.
I've successfully chased people away. People don't go. Our class is not.
The thing is that it's stressful for us this way. Like now it's almost midnight. Everybody's
Yeah,
sleeping and people need to go to work early. Most of people who are in Dubai, it's difficult for them to attend.
yeah, I understand. So how maybe and okay, maybe we'll look at how to readjust the timing. We'll look for how to readjust the timing. When we come, we'll talk about this pattern. I'll leave that for now. So for others, do we have any question or should I work on this pattern or maybe we just go and continue next time? So this is just it. You can expand on that. That's text analysis, like how to manipulate your text. It's not exhaustive. The list is not exhaustive. There are so many more things you can still learn that, but I think these ones are enough for you to manipulate text. You can watch YouTube videos. You can read articles. You can look for books. You can still do exercises and use ChatGPT to improve on them. There are a lot of them. So if you have questions or we have contributions, let's make them and go.
Thing for now, I don't really have anything. For now, I don't really have. I'm just cool. For me, I think it's okay for me because when I'll do some practices of my own, I think it's going to be okay.
So I don't know because we intended to run this for 3 months. I don't know if I should just rush the Excel. Maybe move from here to we touch on dates and finish up Excel next week. But Excel is also very deep. All of them are deep.
Ex-
Yeah,
Excel is broad. We cannot learn Excel everything like that. Like I think we
yeah,
should like focus on giving the essential things which you need for the
yeah.
moment.
Okay, so
Then with time, we'll go
yeah,
deep
with time,
inside.
because there are some concepts that if I want to introduce, they will still require the essentials, like
Yeah.
something like Power Pivots. And if we do it in Excel, we still enjoy it in Power BI.
So,
Pivot tables, then Power Pivots, and Power whatever. There are some of them that will still very essential concepts. So we are not going to finish everything. We can do both statistics, kurtosis, test of goodness of fit, etc. So after maybe by next week, we'll just do more and enter visualization so that we'll keep the interest of others too.
exactly.
We'll
So
start
that
going deep.
cover
People
because some
won't be
people have
attending
already
our
run
class
away.
again. So thank you so much. Let's meet again next week.
Thank you so much. We'll make sure we practice also so that
Yeah,
at
just
least we make things easier.
just practice. If you don't practice, you bring a bottleneck both for me and for yourself. It makes the class uninteresting.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, your effort, everything.
Yeah, I'll be dropping this thing. I just want you guys to follow me. Let me
Yeah, just
see.
drop your link. I
Yeah,
will do it right now.
I'll drop them. I'm going to also drop this video tonight. So thank you. Good night. Oh,
Thank you, sir. Have a great night.
yeah.
Take care.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Good night. I hope you followed.
Yes,
If
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, but you just had a few this thing. Just with practice, you pick them.
We
With
hope
practice.
so. I'll
Yeah.
have to go through the video, just the ending part of it.
Yeah.
Thank
Work
you,
on
sir.
that find, work on substitution. If you don't know how to, just understand the concept of find, even if you're not able to use them to build some beautiful things the way we are doing. With time, you grow to that.
No problem.
All right. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
All right.